Okay, everybody, let's get to it for Tuesday. Checking in with the chat. What's going on? How's everyone doing? Get right to it. I think we really need to address kind of the macro deal and also look at crypto. Let's go right to QQQ on the daily chart because this is everything, and we see it also on big stocks like Microsoft, the SPY as well. We're in a huge 2 of 2 right now, and that started last week, and now you're starting to get a breakdown where 3-bar reversal that could seal the deal for now. So that big number at, well, really XA levels 313.84, exactly off of this bat pattern. It was actually it was 2 different structures. That should be 2 of 2. The SPY, same kind of a deal. You're up here retesting the zone, you're rolling over. Doesn't seem like a lot. There you go. This doesn't seem like a lot on SPY, but you are, look, remember, type 1, bang, and then there's the 2. Just because we're bouncing off at target 1 doesn't mean this is done yet. If anything, run the trend line. And do consult daily charts, because that's, I mean, the daily seems to be taking over on the sell side here, even on the short-term level. This morning, and some things to look for, like right now, would be some midday dot setups, which it looks like we have on the SPY. I mean, this is coming right in here right now. with a bearish dot midday. So what's that tell us? Maybe some more downside in over this next hour. Let's see. What's going on, chat? David, Frankie, Evan, Laser D, Miss Stephanie, Will, Justin, Victoria, Mike, and the rest. Welcome. We're here Tuesday, Thursday, 12 noon Eastern. Do subscribe to get the notifications. Sometimes I come on unexpectedly, surprise stream, but that's okay. And then go over to harmonictrader.com, register now, become a basic member, and then access all the materials here. Quite a number of new HPC TradingView trials, which is great. I don't know where all these people came from, but I think more and more people are finding Harmonic Trader and finding the software. So if you have a TradingView account, which everyone really should at this point, go send your username, TradingView username, to hpc@sr-analyst.com. Then check out all of the rest of the material here, and of course the Discord. Get on the Discord. That's where I was this morning. Posting some charts that didn't really work. I mean, we had a SPY chart 5-minute this morning, didn't really work out for much. We'll get back to that. So this little 5-minute HSI dot, again, we are basically looking for a yellow dot on the Qs or the SPYs right around this 12 noon hour, and there it is. And we don't want to go against that. So for now, for today, actually shaping up of, it wasn't really a perfect type 1 on the initial bat pattern, never got down to target 1. So we're still looking for what I would think would be off this bearish pattern, an HSI down here. Since this is bearish right now, that's not good for the day. And probably still lower until we can register. It looks like it's going to come in pretty soon. We're going to hit this oversold. But that's like probably down as low as 393. Let's see what happens here in the next hour. We'll get into crypto too. Bitcoin's decided to take a little pause, but that's all right. I would be looking more at Ethereum and Binance Coin. We'll jump there in a minute, but that's something for today. The other interesting thing is a lot of 5-minute crazy back-to-back patterns on things like the SPY and the Qs. Check out this back-to-back deal. There was a type 1 bat pattern going back Thursday last week, and then this was Friday, and I posted that in Discord and ended up going to target 2. I thought this was a lot of chop early Friday, and then it broke out. So there are a number of patterns back-to-back. 5-minute basis is the way to look at these for this market. A larger possible retest down to 392, not out of the question. Let's just see what this does literally from this signal that generated 10 minutes ago. I would say still lower for today. Keep an eye on all of that. I think, the QQQs are a little bit different. We had some patterns down here this morning, and they're just not, it's not really doing much. Where's that Q? Hold on one second. Would I have that pattern on the Qs? I have a crab pattern down here. I should. Oh, I see why. I don't have extended trading hours on. That's important. Put on extended trading hours. All right, so here we are with the Qs. Beautiful. This is what I was talking about this morning. And let's just run through it. I was trying to gun some 308 calls for maybe a move off the hop to as high as target 2. Never materialized. You got an HSI against you. For today, I'm looking for the next HSI on the downside. And you're there right now. Interesting for QQQ, we never got a yellow dot, just a bearish counter HSI. What does that mean? That means go back into the zone, retest, especially when you have a bullish zone here. You make progress, then you run right into a bearish HSI. That just means, hey, this is going to take more time. So, down in here where we are currently, with 2.5 minutes to go on that bar, you want this thing to trigger. This could set up a real nice long opportunity, but it needs probably 10 more minutes. I want to see HSI come into that zone like this. And I mean, do it now. Do it in this 5-minute bar. And then come right out. So for today, if we can get maybe a turnaround, a midday turnaround, maybe we get a bullish yellow dot on the QQQ here, but it's a little bit lower. It's not here. Maybe we jump over to crypto in the meantime and take a look at that. And 305 at the hop, 305.27. I mean, that's got to be the floor for today. Absolutely. Let me jump really quick over to crypto. And I think everyone's staring right at Bitcoin, wondering why it's not mooning. And again, I don't think you want it to moon. You don't want crypto mooning right now. You want crypto pretty much doing what it's doing. And even look at the 5-minute charts. I mean, beautiful patterns here. There's a beautiful pattern in Binance as well in the 4-hour. And you're looking for this. We talked about this on Thursday. Just kind of drag up in this area between, generally it's 27 to 29,000. That's a pretty high level. Maybe I'd stretch that down to 26,000 and still be fine. What you're looking for is this thing, okay, just go sideways and then have some kind of nominal reaction here. BTC, we do have a yellow dot. Notice we haven't done a 3-bar breakdown. A 3-bar breakdown would probably give us a little more of a reaction within this zone, but longer term, this is a weekly story. This is a story about the weekly chart, quite frankly. Looks like that. Here's your weekly. And what you want to see on this weekly chart is basically every time this thing comes back to the 50 level on HSI, which has been happening since last summer, that's a continuation buy. You don't want to see HSI roll over on a weekly. Okay, that would be trouble. But up where it is currently, I'm fine with this thing staying in a 10% range and taking time to just build before the pop, because we know the pop's 38,000. I mean, the pop is, this is the pop. It's do a pause, sideways reaction, something like that. Trigger a bullish thing and then fail the pattern. Fail the second pattern. That's what you're waiting on. Structurally, from the harmonic pattern perspective, there's the initial test of the shark down to a 5-0, comes back. Secondary test, but this is, you're starting to run the room for the shark itself. So, okay, let it go sideways, pause here, 30 days, whatever, and then do the move. And that's what you're looking for, I think, into June, where Bitcoin resolves this through time. And then you really start to take out that resistance. I mean, it's not a reach on that. Let's see what the macro does. That would be number one. Number two on the list is Ethereum. Same kind of a deal where 1800's capping it, 1830. with 1762 is the hop level off the bat pattern. We do have confirmation, all right, but we're starting to spend a lot of days up here, much like we did on the first test, like here. And how many days sideways? 50. So even 30 would be a sufficient time frame to say, all right, I'll go to the right here and I'll be cautious for the next 30 days. Today is day 8. Day 30 from that trigger, again, puts you around April 20th, the 19th. And you want to see this basically hold 1600 to 1800. Keep it easy. But that's about it. I mean, we haven't flashed any 3-bar breakdown yet. And that's, you want to see this thing hold its head. And I'll wait on that. Be patient on that. Again, the bigger move for both of these is cracking these resistance levels, the dot, the hop level, especially after 30 days. So you go 30 days and then you do some upside kind of breakout, the pattern back here, yeah, that's over. So give it time. If you're not longing Ethereum, you probably, in about 3 weeks or a little bit more, you're going to start to look for that to kind of break these levels. For now, you're going to cap it. Number 3, Binance Coin, and I did post on this, and I like it right here. I mean, I feel Binance Coin is going to kind of coil up, and you're going to probably knock on the door at 340 a few times, and then get rejected between 340 and 300. But take a look. Here you go. High level bat pattern. So there's a first look. Much like this crab pattern off that initial move from back in February, ballparked something, the 280 area. I would say this ballpark's like a 300 support. But hey, nice pattern right off the top. Number 4, yeah, is XRP. Is that pumping? I mean, relatively pump. How many? That's been up and down. Few 10% up down moves. That's looks like it's ramping, but we know the deal. XRP is the move. You're going for 92 cents. You're not going for 50 cents. It is a type 2 bat. You're above target 2, but no confirmation. Let's say we treated this bat pattern the same. As a 5-minute chart. There's type 1. Back 2 for the confirmation. Little pause at target 1, but you're looking for target 2 on every retest like that. This yellow dot capped it, but now you're above target 2 on the daily, which is 45.9 cents. And until you see a yellow dot up here, that probably continues. The weekly is even better, and I think, again, weekly chart gives you the better target. Target 1, weekly, all-time bat for XRP, 92.8 cents. Why not? Still, it's going to take time. That will take time. I mean, no doubt, that will take time. One moment. Okay. Number 5, I think we could say, is Cardano, just because of the big pattern. The big daily pattern where was close, and that's 28 cents, but I think this is just too ideal not to be patient on. Even though you had this little brief semi-reaction, the official type 2 on that deep crab is 28.3. So that probably takes, I don't know, a few weeks to get down there, but that would be a big type 2. Really. Anyway, those are the five. I mean, and again, it's a lot of them are in a relatively nice position, especially these two of two moves that are, have a greater potential. Some need to test, others just need time to really work themselves out. A couple of the ones that we've been looking at related to, say, XRP. I mentioned this last time, and I like it. It's definitely making progress. UV, there it is, stellar lumens, and this is small deep crab, type 2 crab, where 10.9 is still a minimum target. You go for target 2 off that deep crab, and then the weekly, depending on your feed, again, here we go. It's really more about an all-time 886, like that. The bigger numbers, kind of the metrics, are really, they're much higher. They're like 11 or 10, 11 cents. There you go. 886 at 11 and change. So you're 9.5. Basically, the pattern underneath here, that small crab, it's trying to signal and locate really where in this support. Is it under 10 cents? Probably, but it's probably not much under 10 cents. Where the real metrics are more like 11.5 or even, I would say, 14 cents. So you're kind of below, you're well below the measured levels, but confirmation has come in, especially on this last retest, down around 8 cents. And that's what we've been talking about since then. A couple others that are, still hasn't really changed much. I mean, they're in a great spot where you're retesting. Here's Zcash. Dot type. It's still a type 1, but it's a secondary attempt on this zone at 34.84. You're right there. So under 35 for Zcash, yes. Start looking. And then other things that we've talked about, like the chilies of the world, are hanging out right at their XA levels, 11.3. Maybe this comes down a little bit lower, maybe back to 10 cents to retest that low. But you're back in the zone on a lot of these. Others formed some smaller patterns. Here's an interesting one. I'm pretty sure I brought this up last time, but I still think it's, worth noting because of the type of pattern. Here's Gala. And I don't know why there's a hype around Gala, but there are patterns around Gala. And this had a big thrust, first thrust off of January. I mean, amazing from 1 penny to almost 6. And now we have a type 1, bang, type 2 shark. So Gala around 3, call it 3 cents. The hop's at 2.8. Minimum 3.2. You're at 3.8 at the moment, but why wouldn't you wait for that type 2? Justin, why do we hype Gala? What's so great about Gala? You're hyping it. I don't know, but I'm just kind of curious why Gala over something else. It's like another hex kind of a situation. Don't know. And then some of the other ones like Phantom, 4-hour chart. Look, a lot of these on the 4 hour, I showed you Binance Coin, but here's Phantom. And I think the 4 hour is a good way to look at what's happened in the last 30 days. You had the January spike, February high, March pullback. There you go with a big bat pattern. And now type 1, bang, up there, come back down. XA level just, did that get hit? Exactly. So Phantom just hit your XA level 3950. 3959, now it's 3962. I bet you, depending on your data feed. 3958, XA levels 3957. I think that's really close. But look at your 4 hour charts. Okay. You're not going to see them on the dailies, but you do have these retesting type 2 patterns on your daily after the thrust where, you know, there's something against this. And Phantom and other ones that are consolidating, the big breakout will come later above recent highs. But that's probably what you're playing for. Yeah, I'll look at, well, Fetch was the other one that did a pullback with a beautiful pattern, and now it's there. It's same deal. 4 hour time frame, couple of patterns here. Should be. Where is that? Hold on. Thought this was a Gartley. That's right. All right, so there's Fetch on a 4 hour with a Gartley. HSI, you've checked back, so you still need 2 green candles. Yeah, 2 green candles, because the check back candle, that first candle that's green. Oh, wait, hold on. 33.9. 33.9. So that satisfies the check back on the second bar. There's a green candle. Another green candle needed. So one more green candle, and then you look to flip the breakout. But nice, at least formation of the Gartley right off that low. Get it on. Get it on there. Gala is a gaming platform that use blockchain. Okay. Probably a bunch of those that are like that. But Fetch AI, that was one that was trading as, wasn't that above 50 cents not too long ago? Yeah. I mean, here was one that was a 10x, 5.2 cents to, 57 cents. Keep an eye on that. I like them. They're kind of sleeping right now, but that's okay. You want this stuff pulling back. You want an opportunity to get on these. You don't want these to moon. Here's Ethereum Classic, which is another one sitting on massive patterns. I mean, that's a beauty. Down in here, you had a retest at 1625 exactly where that 886 sits. You ran into some resistance recently, 2150, but maybe we'll come back down. 1675, maybe one more time. I would want to see a yellow dot down in here to then set it off. I don't think you're going to get going until you do that. So check out where the indicator's headed for Ethereum Classic. You need to be patient. I mean, this move from March to, mid-March there, that was it. That was just a thrust. Now you're under the 50. You probably got to go back and hit that. You're going sideways to nowhere. Don't be surprised that that's back at 17. Let's take a look. Couple more. Here's another one that everyone likes, Cosmos. But much like Cardano and a bunch of these, you had the type 1. And even though it's taking more time, look, you went from 9 to target 1 at above 1170. You're back down there. And I would think $9. You want the type 2. Think of it this way. When you are, if you're going to really see something absolutely yield a massive reversal, major reversal off of a pattern, it comes on the retest, successful retest of the pattern level with confirmation. We know that that all takes time. But once that gets going and you're down here, I'd rather be looking for the opportunity here than trying to chase it, right? And just say, all right, I love Cosmos. It doesn't matter. I'll buy it at 11:30 versus waiting for 9 because at least I'll have it. But when it draws down $2 and triggers at 9 to go back to 12 or 14, okay, you're going to miss the opportunity. So just stay with that. Look at a lot of these type of patterns that are setting up, okay, triggering pretty nice type 2s, kind of incoming. Yeah, Ren and VE Chain, the same deal. Yeah, they're all going to take their time. Neil's asking, if we lose 26, 25K for BTC, how could it play out for that? I don't, the BT, it's a good question. BTC's already, I think, proven itself at high levels. And the shark, think of it this way. This original 886 had a yellow dot. It was a little mini reaction, nothing more. And then you had a retest of that area, another short-lived, longer but short-lived reactions. That's different than what we saw going into the end of the year where we were still violating new lows. I'm fine with this. And you would want to see this come off and give you a yellow dot at a pretty high level. And then go. I think it's, if you come back to this, into this zone at 25,000, I'm fine for it. I'm actually looking for the dot. I'm looking for this to hit where you come back down. And this can happen at a pretty high level, just like it did back in February. When it first started rolling over, everyone thought, all right, right back to 16,000. A lot of people are saying, oh, it's going to new lows from here. But it's proven them wrong 3 times now. And we're going to get another signal pretty soon because, look, we've let a lot of air out of this tire since we hit that 28,000 mark. We triggered HSI. We triggered a yellow dot. And HSI is almost about to hit oversold. That tells me this is a reaction. And every day you go to the right and you don't do anything off of this, that kind of firms up the support. So I'm not really, again, I'm looking for the breakout after all of this, the 2 of 2, the reaction harmonic pause, because it's going to be that move due to the fact that what we're dealing with is this crab pattern. Okay, this crab pattern at 37.4, 37,395. Look, we're going to do a dance through here off of that shark, but it's kind of already tipping its hat. So I'm looking for the next daily bullish trigger, if that's 25 or even 24, but I don't think it pauses much more than that. If it goes more than that, I'll deal with it, but I think enough time went by from last summer to now where you are you've confirmed this area as the crab support. One more bullish higher reading. So we have this bullish reading in February. We get another bullish higher reading than these signals. Any bullish reading higher than like 22,000 will be a critical structural confirmation that then sets it off to go to 37,395. I just think we are in a type 1 there on Bitcoin no matter what. If that takes till next year, you probably slugged between this zone. I don't think even lower than 23,000 because that's the XA level. Maybe you come back into the zone, but sideways is the key. So sideways, don't do much, don't break down, no individual 3-bar breakdowns with continuation, and just stay sideways. Even yesterday was trying to be a fairly bearish candle or threatening. It still couldn't close below 1, 2, 3, close below the last 3-day range. Close on that was 27,303, and the 3-day low was 27,221. Small details, but critical. Really small details, but that's what you see when it's a pause. You could certainly take a shot at being short, but once you get to certain areas, you got to follow that progression of demanding the price action exhibit the reversal you're anticipating. This is a type 2. You got confirmation. Clock starts ticking. Once you get really, we can go to the yellow dot or go to the HSI arrow and say it's got to do it in that 30 bars. It's like that. And I mean minimum target 1 within 30 bars. Minimum. That's your window. You just keep going sideways. You stay above like 27,000. Every day you do that, that's bullish. Might take more time, but still bullish. Yeah, I think, listen, it's well done. You're going to get into the end of the quarter. Think of it this way as well. Bitcoin really wants to finish up this month, this quarter, like right here, right where it is. So end of the month, end of the quarter, everything comes on Friday. So by Saturday, and then the new weekly bar starting Sunday, okay, you got a major intervals coming in here, and look at Bitcoin, say, on your monthly chart. And I do think Bitcoin is now more about the long-term outlook than the daily gyrations. Really nice. Look, monthly bullish HSI came in October. Check back. 1 green bar. 2nd green bar was last month. We follow through. Okay, we follow through with a 3-bar breakout on the monthly. 1, 2, 3. That's huge. And 2 of the last 3 months have done that. You don't just stop on a dime there. Your monthly is strong. And this level, this HSI level on Bitcoin, you can use that as kind of low-end support going forward. Really should not break underneath that support at 21.8 at all. I mean, at all. And of course, the quarterly, which let's get a longer, there you go. You want super long term, there you go. Now, interesting that the quarterly is a big bullish engulfing, especially if you get above 20 and close above 26,000, 25.5. And if it's like the rest of the signals, cycles, that is, you do the correction for 4 to 6 quarters, you start the new cycle. There you go. 4 or 5 quarters, Single bar takes it out. Now, don't be surprised if maybe we do something like what we did in 2019. Green candle for the quarter, 3 month, 9 month, 3/4 pause before you break out. The whole key here is whatever that peak is at from this month, currently standing at 28,919. You break above that one quarterly high, this thing goes. And run the all-time spread because you're there. I mean, that's a sufficient range from there to the bottom on the quarterly. Look, 50% retracement around 41,000. 382, we know that. 382 is around 34 and change. So just keep on that. Let's look for that. Thursday, Thursday's the day. Really. Get to Friday. KZ's asking, what happens after 30 bars on both bullish and bearish patterns? How long are they considered invalid? Great question. I think what happens is you adjust your stop parameters. So if it's not doing what your signals are indicating should happen, then you are tightening stops. You're going to say a 1 bar or a 3 bar trailing stop instead of something a lot wider. There's Bitcoin on a 5-minute. Looks like come back for a type 2 right now. You're just more aggressive on your management. I think that's the easiest way to say it. Beyond that, you're taking it bar by bar, and certainly on the monthly, weekly, quarterly, that close this weekend is going to be huge. Yeah, I'm again, we're trying to look at the framework. There's a lot of narrative. I think the price is pretty clear though, where the framework and the character change. Yep. Here's the other thought before I jump out of crypto, just so that everyone knows, okay? Remember a week ago, Riot and Mara, they were all just absolutely raging. Okay, well, guess what? They're getting clocked again. So this is just a reaction. But you're going to get another opportunity on some of these blockchain stocks where if you miss the first thrust or miss the second thrust, because here's Riot with a big crab pattern right at the low. Really nice one. And generally the $4 or $5 level. Your XA is actually 10, but we know this stuff overspills. So generally 5 to 6. What I'm looking for is the next HSI on these dailies to come down and trigger again, just like they have done the last few months. That's also something to look for with crypto. I mean, you want the stocks to be running too, but for now, we're working our way out of the zone. There's a confirmation. There's a higher confirmation. So really first confirmation's coming in somewhere around 3 and change, then 450, 470, and then probably next one somewhere around 650 or something. But I would look at that one, look at Mara, look at some of those other ones, the miners. Here's Mara. And that was a great run. I mean, it was from 4 to 8. It doubled in, 8 sessions? Triggered some overbought signals going back down. Here it is. It's a weekly. Mara's a weekly. Isn't that all-time 886? Pretty sure. I know Riot had that big pattern. Let's see. 886 is probably higher on this. 886 is around 920, 950. But early. That's just trying to base out. Do I think MicroStrategy could become the biggest company in the world someday? I don't know. Do they have a pattern? Any patterns there? Speaking of patterns, the QQQ is about to generate a dot. We'll go to that in a second. Here's MicroStrategy, folks. I really don't know. I mean, I can't, there are too many variables. That's Microsoft, which I want to talk about Microsoft because look at that. This is the one issue I have with a lot of these stocks. First, MicroStrategy. Before I get back to this, I just want to wrap up with some stocks. So there's MicroStrategy. Really no patterns there on the weekly. The daily had some. Where was that? Some bearish patterns. What was MicroStrategy? Wasn't it? It was some kind of long-term. Maybe it was this Gartley. I think that's what it was this retest of that Gartley? Oh, that was before. Check. I know there's some kind of big pattern on here. Maybe I keep thinking about Riot, but I do see this. MicroStrategy, just another 886 cycle. 1300, that's insane. Check that out. Okay. MicroStrategy at 145 is the all-time 886. That's beautiful. I think, look, something like that has done two crazy spikes in its history could do a third, but I still want a trigger. I want a pattern. You don't have it right now, not in MicroStrategy. I think Coinbase is better. Let's come back to that. Let's take a look really at the Qs on the 5-minute and see if we get something. We're here on a 5-minute. This is where we started today. All right, real nice. So here you go. It is a crab pattern, and we were in the Discord looking at this 305, 306 area this morning. It did a nominal reaction. Now you're checking back. You have a secondary confirmation, and look, the yellow dot is trying to go on. It does not become official until this candle is green and closes. So you're still 5 minutes away. But 305.80, 306, under 306 has kind of been the targeted support all day. But I want to see a dot. So I'm not doing anything yet on this. But that's a nice one, and we've seen a lot of these where, okay, this is where we're finishing up the noon hour. And do we get a dot? What happened in the noon hour? We got a bullish HSI signal and potentially a dot right now in a pattern zone. That's the kind of midday thing I do want to see, but I want to see the dot go on. So maybe 5 more minutes, but you're here at 306. You want to go minimum target 1 307.37 or as high as 308.52 by the close. By the close. You're asking a lot. By the close, though. 3 minutes till that dot goes on, and then that could set it off. Bullish 5.0 on Coinbase. Right now, let's see. What's that on a daily? Not really. Listen, Coinbase is more, it's just simply about these confirmation signals. We're bearish here just a couple days ago, bullish down here around 55 bucks. It's because of this deep crab pattern. So like Bitcoin and a lot of the crypto that off of the all-time high, they did this massive 1618 to the downside. Hop level at 49 has really tried to hold here, but I need to see another bullish confirmation. You're almost there for Coinbase, but it's going to come up in the next week. I mean, you're this close to triggering an oversold signal where you hit it and then bounce out. So that's probably, I don't know, 3 days. Not quite there yet on that at all. And I'm looking at the other things that we've talked about. Like, look, Google has been one in terms of the macro picture on daily chart with beautiful pattern structure. We just formed a yellow dot on Google. What was that? That's yesterday. So it's going to take more time. You might even come all the way back to 93.3. But I'm monitoring that. I'm also monitoring. So this is the big deal, not only for the this individual stock, but for the whole market. I've said that Microsoft, the Qs, they formed a Gartley. And Microsoft just gave us a dot yesterday, a yellow dot. So this should put some pressure on this market for now, even in a brief reaction. The bigger deal is what happened on the weekly that I'm now really watching closely, because we have back-to-back patterns. We have a bullish bat pattern, and now we have a bearish Gartley right there at target 1. Is that just a reaction? That's what I'm trying to figure out right now. If that's just a reaction on the type 1 bat pattern for Microsoft, wouldn't we need to come back down? You got to think about that. I mean, very soon, going into earnings, everything, we roll over here. You've got a daily yellow dot. There's a lot of things that suggest maybe that's looking for a pause here at a minimum. Certainly no long position. Do you get short? Do you buy some puts? Maybe some things back down at, like, for target 1 at 256. It's tough. It's Laser D saying, yeah, the chop, it's insane chop. You're right. Laser D's, it's a great comment. It's insane chop. I haven't done much the last couple of days. In the last couple of days that I haven't done that great. A couple of small losing days and I missed 1 or 2 big trades. Been very frustrating for myself. Oh, really, since last week. So maybe it's we just kind of be patient with the market or respect what it's saying, which is probably a bit lower. Even that QQQ on the 5-minute, look, it's a beautiful crab pattern right now, retesting. Can't even, where's the dot? Still can't give you a dot. I mean, this was the last 5-minute bar right there. So we're in here. You need a green bar if I was going to take this as a day trade, because it's a beautiful pattern to the low. Should not violate 305.27 at all. Need a yellow dot, please. Closing in like 4 minutes for this to go to target 1, but it has been chopped. No doubt it's been chopped. I think the bank thing, what happened with the banks, basically has everybody on edge. And you have a lot of people selling things now because of it, because they don't want to wait. They don't want to just If you were nervous before and now you see banks falling apart, yeah, you need to see a couple more big. I think a couple more go down. That would tell you you're closer to the end than the beginning. But for now, for today, look, that 5 minute crab pattern, deep crab, is about as ideal as you can get for a day trade. Can we get the dot though? So 2 minutes, 30 seconds until this bar closes. If it's another 5 minute bearish bar, probably not going to do anything with this. Probably, again, this is the thing with the dot and also HSI arrows. They will start to flash, but it isn't official until the close. So it's not a repaint issue. It's just kind of like showing you that it's potentially there. So look, it just went. So that bar just went red and your yellow dot went away. It's not repainting. It's just telling you if it's bullish on that bar, it will go, but we wait until the close. Otherwise, you're probably going to get a little more drawdown. Yes, it flies, it dies 13, Mr. Kennedy. It has to be above 50 too. I mean, we're looking for conditions that would set it off. The comment is you want amplified RSI, which is this indicator here, to be above the 50 level to really get it going. So what's amplified doing? Not a lot yet. And HSI as well. It ran into its 50 level and couldn't get through. So, even if we got a dot here, you still need to see that thing turn up. You're not in the right position just yet. What else do we got? Oh, SPY on a 5 minute. Sorry, SPY's got a shark. So there you go. Come on, shark. Is that a shark? Yeah, it should be a shark at 395. Where'd it go? Hold on. I'm sorry. The SPY is a shark on the 30-second. I'm looking at a different screen. Here's the 30-second. Couple of shark patterns. Many of you know I like to monitor the 5 minute against a 30-second chart, looking for patterns there, but I have to have something on the 5 minute. Okay, trying to put in a yellow dot on the 5 minute, but again, it has to be, there you go. It doesn't look like it needs to be a green candle. And there you go, but it's not until that closes. So at least the SPY is close too. But let that at least assert itself. That might be a nice long position down here. Yeah, laser D. I hear you. The time decay is a killer on these daily options. That's why I look at the 30-second. This is actually a better deal now than even an hour ago because you're 2 of 2, 1 and 2 with another pattern there with a dot, but the 5 minute's not ready. The 5 minute has to trigger and it hasn't yet. A couple. Here's someone who's saying Bill. CJ wants to see this. Bill Holdings. It's like square. Nice. Do you have the software? Because if you have the software, I appreciate a recommendation like this. Bill's showing us. Sorry, not Bill. CJ is showing us Bill Holdings. Couple of patterns, yellow dot, all around $71, $68. What does this look like on a weekly? Not there yet. I wish that was at an all-time 886. I wish it was something like this. 848, 886 is more like 57, 50, $60. So, so. It's such a downtrend that it's tough. That thing could. I was saying the 886 was at $55. The hop level is 53. That's where it goes. I would wait for that. I would just be patient on that. Uh, the Scott Yarborough. The Qs gave us a dot. Are we on that next 5-minute bar? Hold on. Okay. There you go. All right. They did manage to get a bullish candle. There it is. So we're back in the zone. There's the first dot. All right. Great spot. There's the Qs. It just took an extra 15, 20 minutes. So we're to the right of the dot. So now we're looking here. So this is this whole permissible range between 305.27 and 306.35. But what do I want to see? I want to see a 3-bar breakout. I want to see that bust above. I mean, really, it's 306.20 at this point. Give it another bar or two. But yeah, I agree. This 5-minute bar is probably the first bar where we can take another shot or even think about taking another shot. How about square after the dump? If it's got confirmation. I know this has got a big pattern down at the lows. Yeah, oh, there you go. It's an alternate bat. Square's an alternate bat, and it's a type 2 at $51. It's not there yet. And I know weekly too. Something here on the weekly? Yeah. All right, the shark. On the weekly, this is for square, or block, sorry. Symbol SQ. Who's asking about that? Hold on. CJ. All right, CJ, this is the deal. We've got, look at the volume exhaustion. That's huge. You're back into that long-term zone. But do you have confirmation down here? Not yet. Your weekly says more time, and it's probably the most challenging thing. That do you wait for your signals? Because that's a couple weeks away. You love the pattern, but you haven't confirmed anything down here. Again, the weekly is nice, but no confirmation, so you got to wait. The daily is a type 2 off that bat, which is, we'll come back to this, but it says and suggests as low as 51. Keep an eye on that. Jewelry Affairs, GME. I know GME had a big pattern, right? Yeah, there it was. It was a type 2 crab. And then we had a shark. We talked about this. But that's probably it. If you were in that GME, that's got reaction written all over it. And you generated a bearish HSI, counter HSI yesterday. And that's about it. And that's this market. Look, beautiful monster move in 3 or 4 days, but that's it. And you're going to have to kind of just be happy with these kind of moves. Beyond that, I don't expect much. I expect this to be continue to be choppy, and even with that, you come back down. I mean, you're 22. You could come all the way back to 16. Yeah, and you're gonna look double confirmation. All right, couple more because you guys are really. Why do we want to look at hex? I mean, I don't know anything about this thing. But I'm also, I'm also gonna be. I'm also gonna call it the way I see it, and I think most of you know what I'm getting at. You know, you're gonna buy Chinese ADRs. I mean, if you want to, so be it. That's fine. It's not my flavor. There's hex. It's going to be a type 2. That was hey, beautiful run on hex, but maybe I can put it to rest with this. Type 1, hey, real nice. Congratulations. Depending on what brokerage you are, if you can get this on, there's only a few you can get that on, but there's type 1, type 2, 3.8 cents. So if you want to be a part of that, that's my real question. Looking for that to come back down, finish the type 2. I'll only talk about this from a harmonic pattern perspective. That's it. Yeah, Baba's up. Litecoin's the other one. Litecoin's like these others. Look, couple nice patterns just in the last year, despite what everyone's thinking with this. Here you go. Litecoin's coming back where you have back-to-back patterns. 99, all right, came up. Now you come back down. Could see this wedged between 65 and 100 for a while like that. Couple more. Where are we at? Oh, check it out. Spy's turning around. Let's jump over there. Spy, 5-minute. Come on. No dot. Are we going to get the dot? Is the dot in? Not yet. 8 seconds. We should get a dot now on the SPY. What about the QQQ? Remember, this is 5-minute chart. There you go. We didn't get a 3-bar breakout. Really close, though. That's what you're looking for. This is still a type 1. Go to 307.37 from here. And the hop has to be the low. That's your whole plan on this one. Need a 3-bar breakout. Nice puts. Yeah, nice anything on any option, put or call in this chop environment. I mean, look, this is 930. And right there's 930. That's 306. That's 305. A point and a half all day on the Qs. I don't, not my flavor. Not something I want to see. If this was, we'll share this with everybody. Hey, don't want to be too dismissive on it, but if we were type 1 and we hit the target and then we were a real type 2, maybe I would think this could be something bigger. But I like this. I just think maybe we only go back to 307.37 here. And that's the Q. I like the Q over the SPYs. Let's see what those calls are going for. Yeah, what if I had Yeah, I was scalping out like 307s and 308s this morning, and they're now way down. I mean, I just, it was a day trade scalp out. You'd probably have to look at the 307s, which are trading 30 cents, or the 306s, which are around 65 cents. That's probably better if we get this move out of the zone. Big if. We talked about crude oil a little bit today. I didn't go into it too much. Probably save that for Thursday. I'm trying to clean up the crypto. Just get that, really get on top of that because a lot of nice 4 hour patterns on crypto. Someone's asking for Doge. Doge has just been disappointment, right? Shark pattern looks like it wants to come back down, retest at 6.5. A lot of these are just, they're setting up like that. We talked about the ones like Gala, okay, other T coins like that. Even showed Binance Coin. They formed really nice patterns on the 4 hour chart, but they're not moving. I think that's, you're going to be a little sluggish until we get through this quarter. You want to get out of the quarter. So if you find yourself frustrated over the next several days, just get used to it because even from like a chart perspective, we need to get out of March. We need to get out of the first quarter. We need to get out of this next week with our hat in our hand and then get on with it next starting in April. That's how I'm really thinking about it. And this can go for all the markets. I think all the markets, you really want to see some constructive closes into Friday, into the weekend, and then have something real strong happen into next week. We know what the deal is on the QQQ. That's where we started with today. I still think this is like probably the most important pattern, that and the SPY. And if you get a 3 bar breakdown, that's going to be significant. That would cap it. We actually might be doing that today. Look, 1, 2, 3. The 3 bar low is 307. So maybe why the 5 minute time frames are not working is because this is really about a daily deal. The daily's trying to roll out of that zone. We'll certainly know by Monday, and if you go into that, then you're headed for target 1, which is 291, and that's a nice little pullback. And that's I'm not, I think where you are with Microsoft, the SPY on the daily, Qs on the daily, and then some of those weekly charts that we showed. If we pause or roll over here, don't be surprised. And then you're still in this year-long range, quite frankly. Looks like that. Just frame it out. Really, since we broke down, you go back to May, there's the 10-month range. And your last pattern's a bearish pattern, so at a minimum, come on down for a little bit. And you're not, conversely, think of it this way. Have you broken out? Hell no. What did you do trying to break out? You formed a bearish pattern. And it's rolling over, and today's a potential 3 bar reversal. Yeah, we're back into consolidation. Not fun if you're a trader, but if we can spot these up, trade level to level, that's your best shot. You're not going to get any runners. Not until next month. Evan, man, you can't forget the XRP. You can't sleep well because of XRP. I wouldn't worry about it. XRP, I think is still, it's a long-term game. You're not playing XRP for pennies. Isn't this a contradiction? Is asking Trust Knee B. to say accumulate in April, sell in May. No, it's look, think of January, February as a first thrust phenomenon after the last 15 months. Here are the cues. The cues on the monthly. What's that chart look like? There you go. Tell me about that. Let's forget the patterns. Forget the patterns. Let's just draw some trend lines. That's the last 15 months. All right. What do we really need to see? It would be great. I mean, I really wish this would have held its head and we were at 313 or 315 and we could close at above 313 or 314. That would be, on a long-term basis with these monthly candles, amazing. But you're not going to do it in 1 month. 3 months, 6 months, yeah. And I mean to the right of, from the right of that breakout. That's why these monthly closes are so critical. And think of it this way. If we need a strong close, then you need to see some 5-minute patterns now basically set up to give you a rally into the end of the month. But it's not quite there yet. Maybe Thursday it's there. Maybe, again, this is why options can be a killer. This is the setup I want to send everybody home on, that we haven't gotten a 3-bar breakout. It's a beautiful secondary shot at a deep crab that isn't really busting out of the zone. That's the problem I have with this. But you're trying to get to target 1 as a day trade. Here's something that It Flies, It Dies 13 said. Mr. Kennedy's he said, wait for amplified to get above 50. That was probably the comment of the day, my friend. And now you are. And this is something, if you're, you do this on any time frame. Like if we're looking at a daily chart, we would expect continuation above the 50 level. So maybe in the next 5 or 10 minutes, you break out. HSI is in a better position now than it was, say, back here almost an hour ago. But that's what needs to happen. If this is going to work out, and I mean between now and say 2 o'clock to run to 4, you got to get both of those up. Amplified's got to break up above 56 level, but you're still in the zone. Only a reaction trade. I'm really just focused on these 5-minute things versus the daily, because the daily is what is, if these 5-minute patterns fail, which it's flawed, let's say, then we got to look at today's close. Again, close pretty much under 307, then you've sealed the deal for now. Yeah, off of that daily pattern. There you go. Leave you guys with that. HSI is over 50. Yeah, McDonald's is above 275 on the wheel. That's a breakout. Again, this is probably more about time than anything, because there are a lot of markets like McDonald's doing well. All right, this is looking better. I want to get out of here on this time frame. I want to get out of here right now. We've been here about 90 minutes, and we're looking for that breakout. We just jumped into that new bar. All right, that's looking better. That's what I want to leave everybody with. This is the read. There you go. A secondary shot. And this is just for today into the close. Minimum target 1, 307.37. Would love to see it go as high as 308.52. But you're now on. Look, you have to close above 306.20 on any of this to get it out of the zone, and you don't violate these lows. That's how you frame that out. Still not there for me yet. Listen, let's come back on Thursday, see where we're at on these major indices. We've got a Fed tomorrow, right? AMP held 50, HSI is over 50. Yeah. Give me a 1-bar, 3-bar breakout. Excuse me. Give me one 5-minute candle. It's something like this. All right. Like, take a look. This is what we had this morning. With a big flush down to the hop. 1, 2, 3-bar range right there. That candle. This candle on that breakout was what it got it going for, a reaction. You're kind of looking for that to happen. Get the breakout and then follow through. Yeah. All right, listen, we'll give away some books on Thursday. We're going to give away gold membership too. Get with the software. Get over to our Discord and get to harmonictrader.com. There you go. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Thanks again, everybody. It doesn't look like, no, I don't think it's going to do it. Yeah, I don't think this is going to do it. I'm just going to probably scratch this. Just let this be. Not do it. Look at that 5-minute. No 3-bar breakout. We'll come back on Thursday. We'll take another look at this. But again, I'm very much focused on what goes on here into the next couple days for everything, crypto, markets. We'll look at gold on Thursday too. Thanks, folks.